Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales of Three, an all-queer, narrative-driven D&D podcast where your three GMs are also your three PCs. My name is Dusty. My pronouns are they, she, and I play Ivy Nightbreeze Tinkerfey, whose pronouns are she, her, and I am currently in my Pepsi Max era.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ariana. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Alara Spindlespark, whose pronouns are also she, her. And Alara almost died to a bat, so I feel really great about that.
Hello everyone, my name is Wayra, my pronouns are she, they, and I play Véres, whose pronouns are he, they. And I'm very excited to play this game.
This game we call D&D.
A note regarding content warnings. This campaign is a dark fantasy that deals consistently with topics of body horror, complicated relationship dynamics, emotional distress, fantasy violence, gore, mechanized spiders, mental health and illness, profanity, and romantic and sexual relationships. A full list of episode-specific content warnings can always be found in the show notes of each episode. Last time, Véres found out from Riven that a guard went missing the night before, and that two new people with scarring on their cheeks had been assigned to Riven's guard by the mayor, Onyx Grayson. Alara and Ivy went to town square and were met with a big crowd attending the mayor, Onyx Grayson, and the reveal of a very lackluster animatronic. When the three met back up, they headed to the special tour where Véres saw Zath's child, Ash. Ivy scored a date, and Alara was very disappointed in the lack of magical items. Before the tour ended, Ivy saw a cloaked figure in the shadows, and she used Bia to communicate with Véres, who then told Alara. Alara looked behind a bookcase to find a hidden pathway, but before they could investigate, the tour guide Joy called them away. Back at the gift shop, it was revealed that Ash was missing, and without hesitation, Véres ran to find them, with Ivy and Alara following behind. In their search, they ran into a group of bats who were thought to be extinct and could seemingly phase in and out of existence. Alara and Ivy both took significant damage, while Véres held their own against the assailants. The group managed to dispose of the bats, and we pick up now with Alara severely injured and sliding down a wall to the ground.
Ivy immediately runs over, and you watch as her hands start to glow like a navy mist, and she gently places the palm of her hand on your forehead, and she casts Cure Wounds. So you feel just like energy seep back into you, your wounds close, and you have 9 points of healing back to you.
Nice. That's amazing.
I think as you do this, Véres watches and his eyes widen. You can heal.
Yes?
Be very careful who you tell that to.
As you say that, you hear something crash at the end of the hall in the direction that you all were heading, where those three rooms were. And you hear very frantic footsteps coming your way.
Véres goes to move in front of the two, hand on the handle of his sword ready.
Yeah, Ivy raises her hand, frost forming at the tips of her fingers.
You see, come around the corner, almost like run into like the wall ahead because they were running so quickly, but they correct just in time, come around the corner. You see Ash, white as a ghost, blood leaking from their head. Looks like they have a gash in their arm. They see you, Véres, and the other two, and you can see a moment of like relief flood their face, but then they kind of like keep running as they're running towards you, and they just go, run now, we have to get out of here. And they kind of like stumble, I think, as they get to you.
Véres moves and picks Ash up and puts them like carefully in their arm and looks at you two and goes, let's go.
Alara stands up.
Ivy nods quickly.
Are you running out?
Yeah.
You all run back the way you came, down the tunnel. You get to an area, and I need you all to make like a survival check to see if you can navigate your way out of here.
Natural 20. That's
nice. So Véres is in like mama bear mode.
Yep.
You see, did you roll, Ivy?
Oh yeah, that's 25.
Yeah, okay. So Alara hesitates for a second as you open up into like the overlook. I think maybe still a little disoriented from the head trauma.
Mm-hmm.
But Ivy and Véres, you know with certainty which way is up and out, and she sees you both kind of going that way, so she continues and she follows. You make it up, no issue. You get to the main part, the little gift shop where you first came in, And you see the 3 employees you saw. Joy is there, the kid that was behind the counter, and you see Jeffrey. And as soon as you all come out, I think Joy rushes over maybe to Véres.
Mhm.
Are you gonna put at what are you doing as you all get out there?
He's gonna look for somewhere to set Ash down carefully and examine all the injuries.
There's a stool behind the counter.
He goes and grabs the stool and like kicks it out and sets Ash on it and starts looking them over like a panicked parent.
Yeah. Make a medicine check.
My medicine is not great. Oh, but 17 on the die though.
Okay. So as you begin to look them over, they're shaking almost like uncontrollably, and mumbling words out. I don't know if you're processing them, but you do look, you look at the head wound. As far as you can tell with your 17, it looks like it's just like a surface wound.
Okay.
It doesn't look like it's very deep.
They don't see concussed.
Their eyes are alert and they're following you.
Pupils aren't blown wide.
No. They do seem confused in general, I think maybe in shock. The gash wound on their arm, again, it might need some stitches, but it's nothing life-threatening.
Okay.
I think Alora has come up and is like wrapping the arm wound.
He takes off his cloak and puts it around Ash because the shock, he doesn't want that to set in.
As Alora starts to bandage Ash's arm, and you're just kind of like watching them, you begin to like process the words that they're saying,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just kind of repeating. I just had to run. I was running, and I just had to run. My skin, I felt so weird. Everything just felt so weird. Like everything was humming in my head and in my ears and under my skin. I ran. I heard a noise, and I ran.
Who took you? What happened?
I don't know. It's like I fell asleep almost, and I woke up, and I was by this hole, and I was bleeding, and there was a hole in the ground, and there was a person there wearing a cloak, and he was coming out of like a hole, a tunnel, and then I heard the noise, and when he got distracted, I just ran. It felt so weird.
Can I make an Arcana check? See if I recognize what that humming might be?
Ivy, you can also make an Arcana check.
Okay. 17.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Véres, you know from maybe some readings, past dealings with people, a humming on your skin is typically indicative of a very high magic area, something powerful, a place that is filled with a lot of magic, but not man-made magic. It's natural-made magic. Ivy, you know from just recent experience, when your skin hums like that, it is because you're in a high magic area. It is because it's natural magic, but it also does that when you're close to a portal. That description that Ash gives reminds you of the feeling that you feel
When I went through the portal.
when you go through a portal.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, I'm so glad that you're safe. You made it out all right. It's gonna be okay.
They nod.
You were very brave, Ash.
I just had to get out. When I heard the commotion, it was my only chance and I ran.
That's good. It was smart.
They nod.
And he like pulls the cloak a little tighter around them just to like try to get the shaking to stop.
Mm-hmm.
I think at this point, the door to the gift shop like bursts open and Zath comes running in and he goes, "Where are they? Where's my child?"
Over here.
Zath spots you, then Ash, and then runs over. And immediately,
Véres steps out of the way.
Yeah, Ivy does too. Zath immediately starts, checking Ash over, and he goes, "Are you all right? Are you hurt?
Zath will see the blood on their forehead, and I think they'll kind of shrug out of the cloak a little bit to show that the arm that's now bandaged up."
He takes out a little vial out of his pocket and holds it out to Ash, and he goes, "Here. Are you sure you're okay?"
They take it and they drink it, and they just nod, and I think they just like collapse into his like chest.
He holds them tight, and he looks at Véres and he goes, I don't understand. Why? What happened? Why are you here? Why? What?
We went on the tour, and Ash vanished, so I ran back to get them. Somebody in a cloak took them. People are going missing all over this town, as you know. These people, I think, are responsible. in cloaks with burns on their face.
I thought this tour was supposed to be safe. And he looks at the 3 employees and he's like, you allow people to just go missing on your tours. This is something that you are allowing.
The teenager just like, he like leans back, you know?
Joy's like, no, we don't allow it. It's something that we know happens on occasion. We have holes in the ground that, if they don't stay with the group, they could fall down. I didn't...
Why are you operating as a business if this is something that happens? If people were to go missing in my tavern, I would shut it down and figure the hell out.
We don't have enough guards in this town to investigate it.
He shakes his head, and I think he picks Ash up and just like walks out. I think if he stays, he's gonna get madder and madder.
Amara's like gonna look down the hallway for an 8 on the die. So
does she want to like nudge Ivy, or she's just gonna like look with her special eye? And
yeah, she's looking with her special eyes.
Varys is just shakes her head and turns back towards the tunnel and says, I'm going to go investigate the area.
Yeah.
Where they went through.
I mean, at least we know there's a way through, you know?
Laura, are you going to be okay?
I'm okay. You healed me, which is something that we should definitely talk about later. And I do feel a lot better. And she touches her cheek, and I think that there's still like I think I'm gonna scar her cheek. I don't think I'm gonna scar her forehead.
That's a good idea.
She goes, it'll be okay, I think.
It'll fade in time.
Ivy is completely ignoring the fact that she looks like she only has 7 hit points left.
Oh my god. Alara looks at Ivy, and she takes out a vial, not a vial, like a little jar out of her pocket, and it's filled with this like green paste. Where is Ivy hurt?
I think her shoulder. It's torn through her long sleeve, and then it's also torn through on her forearm.
She opens the jar and she like holds it out to you. And she goes, I didn't have time to heal myself. You did it really quick, which is totally great. Thank you. I'm really grateful. But this will do the same for you. Except it's not magic and it's not going to feel super great for like a second. But it will help.
All right. She takes a 2-fingerful, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch as she pulls her sleeve up, and as she's applying it, you get like a little bit of what looks like either a tattoo or a birthmark on her forearm.
Ooh.
And she pulls it back down, and then she reaches into like the holes in her shoulder and does the same thing.
You get 8 points of healing back. And as you spread this salve on, I think it burns really intensely for like a couple of seconds, and then it feels cool, and then it feels like nothing. And it feels like you can feel little things moving around for like a second.
Ew. Nope. I don't like that.
She just looks at you with this like grimace on her face.
It worked. I know it's a little weird. But you look a lot better.
Please remind me to never ask what is in this.
Sure. And she puts it away. And she starts walking down the tunnel again.
Ivy follows.
Why are you making that face?
Varys is watching you two walk down the hall.
Ivy's not stopping. She's just assuming Varys is following.
Come on, Varys.
They follow and they catch up and they're like, can I at least go in the front this time so you don't get fucked up?
Oh, yes, absolutely you can. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Not that you can't take care of yourselves, I'm just saying.
No, I got really messed up by a bat just a second ago. Never thought I would say that in my life. It almost killed me.
I will say, those weren't just regular bats.
No, they were definitely not regular bats.
Oh, so you saw that too? I thought I was going
yes,
fucking mental.
One of them went half disappeared. What was that?
He points to the sign as they pass under it, the animatronic bat. Extinct species.
I don't think so.
Somebody should tell that to them.
More like super mutant bats. There's a lot of stuff going on in this tunnel.
There's a lot of stuff going on in this world.
Is there a lot happening? This is just another day to me.
Oh, no. This is more than, I think, my whole life, maybe.
It's just weird.
It is weird. But also, it's a lot.
Sure. There's nods.
You all make your way back to the room, and when you get there, you see what you, I think, suspect to see. The bookcase has been pushed over.
Mm-hmm.
When Ash was trying to run out, they knocked it over. There is very clearly a pathway there. Small. Véres, you probably would have to crawl through. I don't think you could even, hunch over. Would you like to go through it, or would you like to investigate anything further?
Oh, he's going through.
Okay.
For sure. Boy gets down on his hands and knees and he's gone.
Ivy hesitates, looking like she's trying to decide something, and sighs and gets on her hands and knees and crawls forward.
Alara will follow. And you all crawl. Are we going silently? What's the vibes here?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Véres is sneaking.
All right. So we're going to stealthy stealth everybody. Alara has disadvantage.
Alara is clinking along this tunnel.
For a natural 1 on the disadvantage.
He's got 17.
I think she gets snagged.
17.
Okay. So you two are going so quiet. And every time Alara crawls, you just hear a clink and a clank and a clink and a clank.
Oh, I should probably roll for Bia, huh?
Yeah.
9. Bia got a 9.
Yeah, so Bia
is just chirping away happily as Alara makes a little tune with her coat.
She's just trotting along.
After about 2 or 3 minutes of crawling, going down, by the way, you notice that there seems to be kind of crude hand/footholds. Not that it's so steep, but it's well traveled, this pathway. Eventually you get to what looks to be the end. You come to just some dirt in front of your face.
Perception check. Dirty 20.
The dirt is loose dirt. It's not packed dirt. And then, it's just dirt all around you.
No hidden things or traps or anything to be aware of?
Nope, but the dirt right in front of you is loose dirt. It's not packed dirt.
I'm digging.
It doesn't take long before you dig your way out of a hole that literally is big enough to get your shoulders through. Do you look out before you go through?
Yes.
Make a perception check.
15.
It's a break room. You're on the floor looking up at a little couch, a table. And they've kind of dug out a little area where they keep things cool because the dirt is cool down there, like a man-made refrigerator or a person-made refrigerator. And you look to your left and you see a door, and you look to your right and you see a door.
He just lets out an aggravated sigh. He's he goes, move back a little, please.
Alara moves back.
Ivy does too. Bia just watches.
He gets himself out and braces both arms on either side of the wall and pushes himself out.
And births himself from the hole.
From the hole.
It feels like. And then he'll help the other two out.
Alara kind of dusts herself off and looks around. It's very clearly an employee break room is what it looks like. Alara's going to make a perception check, I guess. I don't know what everybody else wants to do.
I'm going to investigate. He's going to creak open the doors to both directions to see where they lead. You said there's 2 doors, right?
There's 2 doors.
Yeah.
Left or right first?
My gut says right.
Okay, so you go to the door on the right and you turn the handle and it's locked.
Of course it is. He's going to pick the lock. I don't think that he struggles whatsoever. Let's see. That's 26.
Yeah. You take out your thieves' tools, right? Your lock-picking tools. Are you doing this plainly in front of everyone, or are you trying to hide it?
No, he doesn't hide it.
And in a couple of seconds, you put the tools in and you kind of feel around. Click, 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 and the door unlocks.
Okay, where does it lead?
You open the door.
Mm-hmm. Very gently.
The whole room explodes.
I knew it.
I'm just kidding.
Game over. Nice game, guys.
Dark room, no lights, but you have dark vision, right?
I do, yep.
You open the door and you see 4 decently sized crates on the floor, and then some smaller ones atop the 2 that are on the left. And there's nothing else in this room.
Okay, he notes that and he's going to close the door quietly.
What's Ivy doing?
Ivy's watching Véres, I think. She doesn't really care about a break room. She doesn't like that she was just birthed from the wall. She's covered in dirt. She's not a happy camper.
Mm-hmm. Does she look in the room that Véres looks into?
Yeah.
So she sees the same thing. She sees a dark room with all the crates.
As he goes to close the door, Ivy kind of scoots right past him there, and goes in to check out the crates.
Okay. I think Alara is standing. I think Véres, do you go to the other door or do you hang back with Ivy?
Yeah, he's gonna go look at the door on the left.
Okay. So Ivy goes into the room on the right. Véres goes and looks at the door on the left. You open the door on the left.
Just like creak it open.
The other door is not locked. You open it and you can see straight out probably about 60 feet just at the end of your dark vision. So 30 feet ahead, it looks like it opens into another room. And then another 30 feet ahead, it looks like it opens up into like a pathway to a tunnel.
Okay. Any hidden tunnels or paths in this room?
In the break room, make an investigation check.
Alara made an investigation check.
She got a 3 on the die.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I got a dirty 20.
Perfect. I think Alara is like peering out of the door on the left, just kind of like keeping a watch maybe, or like everybody else is doing something, so she's going to do something too type of situation. Fair. Ivy, when you step into this room with the crates, your skin starts to tingle and hum pretty strongly. Okay. Like it's immediate as soon as you walk through this door. It comes on almost like a wave.
She is going to try and see if she can find the source of the feeling.
Okay. Make an arcana.
She at this point she knows it's like a portal nearby, right?
I think Ivy would think it's a portal for sure. Just kind of knowing by the feeling. So you can make an arcana check. Véres, you rolled a dirty 20 on your investigation.
Mm-hmm.
You look at these two rooms, and you come back into the break room in the center, and you kind of look at the floor, and as soon as you look down, you see footmarks shuffling footmarks that lead directly across from where you came out from. You notice that the little love seat that's there is pushed out a little bit from the wall on like one side.
Is that where they came out, or is it a different place?
No, you came out on the opposite side.
Okay, he goes over to that and moves it a little. Have a look.
Mm-hmm. And you look down and you see another little hole, another little tunnel, small tunnel again.
Can he fit through?
Tight squeeze, and you would have to move really slow, but yeah, you get down there and you think that you may be able to get through.
I think he has a look and he's like, I found another tunnel.
Okay, let's go, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering if we should perhaps go get the god for this.
Maybe. Ivy, would you roll in your arcana?
An 18.
Ivy, you take a step into the room. You take another step into the room, and each step you take, the feeling seems to get stronger. You go to the right, and it gets a little bit less somehow. You feel very like in tune to the feeling that you're feeling right now. And you start to walk over towards the place where it's getting stronger, and as you hear Alara call your name, as soon as she does, she goes, "Oh, I think maybe the guards are here." And she turns around and she sees who she knows as Jennifer coming down the hallway with two town guards. What does everybody do?
Ivy is focused on trying to find this thing. She's going to listen.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's actually going to have Bia fly over to the doorway to watch what's happening.
Okay.
So you just see a little pseudo dragon in like the very top corner, like poke her head out to watch, trying to remain inconspicuous.
I love it.
I don't think Véres tries to hide. There's no need. Jennifer, who you know to be Jennifer, opens the door further, spots you two, Alara and Véres, and sees the door that was locked is open, looks back at Alara and Véres and goes, "There you two are. Where's your friend?"
She's here. She's around. There's secret tunnels, all over the place.
Sure. You guys gotta go. We're locking down for the night. This is now a guard investigation. For your safety, you have to leave. Véres is just eyeing up the two that are with him.
Mm-hmm.
Are they people that are actually like guards? Are they security? Like what? Who are they?
They're wearing the brooch of the
Brooch of Destiny.
The brooch of destiny of the Grimford guards.
Okay. Véres just nods and says, "With all due respect, I'm with the god as well.
One of the guards, who's kind of standing, I think they're like flanking Jennifer, just kind of like waiting for a direction. One of them goes, "Where's your brooch?"
He pats his chest. It's right there.
It was on his cloak.
Oh, shit. Right. He looks down and he's like, he curses under his breath. Goes, it was on my cloak, which is with Ash, who was taken earlier.
Make a persuasion check.
17.
Rollies.
Oh! 19.
No modifier.
Oh, 17 again.
The guards look you up and down, and the one that's closer to Alara, he goes, "You heard him. Everybody out now." And Alara goes, "Okay, but there's something really weird going on here. And if you all are just gonna like shut it down again and then like open up tomorrow and everything is just gonna like go back to the way it was and people are gonna keep going missing, then I don't think that you should do that. And I think we should maybe try to stay and like figure it out."
This entire operation is now under the Grimford Guard. They will do a thorough examination investigation and will proceed from there. You three are no longer needed here. I appreciate your concern. I do. And I know somebody who was close to one of you was involved. But really, we need you to get out. And either you leave on your own or you leave kicking and screaming, and I really don't care which. And he gestures to the two guards.
I think one of them walks towards Véres, and the other one grabs Alara by her arm. She like wrenches herself from his grasp and like tries to step away. And she goes, okay, everybody just calm down. Like, there's no need to put hands on anybody. We're not resisting. We're going. And he goes to like grab at her.
Oh, Véres
again.
Véres moves. He's like, no, that's not necessary. We'll leave.
The guard that's trying to touch Alara needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
4 on the die.
Yeah, so as this is happening in the commotion, and as Alara says there's no need to put hands on someone, Ivy appears next to you.
Oh.
And the guard is frightened of her.
So I think he kind of like goes, oh, okay. And he like takes a couple of steps away and puts his hands up. We didn't want no trouble here.
We're leaving.
Okay.
Just keep your distance.
And the other guard doesn't touch you, Véres.
He nods in appreciation.
And they kind of get out of your way and gesture for like, you all to leave.
Mm-hmm. He like dusts himself off, picks his shirt and walks out with dignity. He does not give a fuck that they just got caught.
And Bia comes sailing in. Bia lands on Ivy's head. Mm-hmm. And you watch as they're walking out. Bia like turns around to face the guards and like you watch as she brandishes her elbows.
I love it.
You hear as you exit the room, you hear you know to be Jennifer saying, "I was sure that door was locked."
Alara goes, "Yeah, and there's also secret tunnels all through here, so you should be more concerned about that probably." The guards escort you out.
Mm-hmm. We escort ourselves out.
Mm-hmm. And you make it to the outside, and they turn around and they go back into the tunnels.
Alara, are you all right?
Yeah, that was really cool what you did. Little bit of teleportation.
Yeah, the teleporting that.
You are just a walking. Never mind. He just starts heading towards
a walking what?
Red flag.
Red flag.
Yeah, but like not in that way. In like a
we're going to jail sort of way.
Yeah, in that way. And we're going to jail way.
What did I do?
Teleported for one.
Okay, so suddenly it's illegal to teleport?
It is very illegal to teleport, actually.
Literally, Ivy. You should know this. You're from the capital, and I know it's not legal there.
I'm sheltered.
I believe that. Is everyone okay?
Oh,
yes. Yeah.
I'm all right.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I got that guy to stop.
You did. He seemed pretty scared, which I don't blame him because, again, you teleported. Which also...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Véres, like, pinches the bridge of his nose.
Actually, that's really just a side effect of displacing the area around you. Different types have different, side effects.
Ivy, you just teleported in front of a god.
Well, maybe she scared him enough that he'll be so scared that he will never speak of it.
I really hope he forgets.
Maybe he didn't even realize that I teleported. Maybe he just...
Well, there was 2 other people there, though. It wasn't like it was just...
Maybe they just thought I was, like, moving in the shadows.
Right, so witnesses. And Véres turns to go back in. No, I'm kidding.
He takes his scythe off his back.
No, you actually, as a joke, I think he turns to go back in.
Véres, hey, hi. Where are you going?
Witnesses.
No.
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 No?
I know this town doesn't have a real jail, but...
No witnesses?
No, because I think if we murder those people, that's worse than teleporting.
There's holes, you know. People go missing here all the time.
Exactly.
I mean, they do. You're right. I feel like they should be more concerned with that than you teleporting.
I'm very much joking. I'm not going to.
Okay, I didn't think you were.
I didn't think you were bombastic side-eye.
Okay, so this has been such an interesting day for me. What do we do?
I don't know. Can't say I've ever been caught breaking and entering before. But shall we head back to the inn for now? I suppose.
Yeah, I think so.
Also, somebody has a date, I believe. He, like, elbows Ivy.
I don't know if that's still happening, considering.
Oh, right. Under investigation. I forgot.
Maybe Joy's a little busy, probably, now.
Probably.
Gonna be a lot of paperwork, I think.
Probably.
All right, so you all start to make your way back to the Bed and Banshee Inn. It's getting a little bit later in the evening, kind of like dinner time now. The streets are packed with people, more dispersed than they were when they were standing in the crowd. But there are a lot of people kind of walking around, and all the decorations that are kind of out in the streets are kind of like lit up. But you make your way back to the inn. No issues there. And you walk in, and the inn is also bustling. The 3 of you see Reg busting her ass behind the counter. Zath is nowhere to be seen. And you don't see any tables. You don't see any empty tables, I should say. Alara, I think, looks at the both of you, and she just goes, I kind of think maybe that I would like to just maybe have a little chat about just all the stuff that just happened in the tunnels.
Ivy resists the urge to say something snarky.
All right. I'll meet you folks up there. I'm going to go see if I can find Zath.
All right.
Okay. Alara will look at Ivy. Do you want to go upstairs? We can wait in my room.
Sure.
I think Véres nods to Reg. Not that they notice as they're fucking running. She's running everywhere. Walks down like the hall beside the stairs going up, and that continues down until there's a door on like the right side of the hallway, and he just kind of like taps on the door.
I think the door opens, and you see Zath. He's a little disheveled. He goes, hi, Véres.
Hey, how are you and Ash holding up?
He turns, and you see Ash sort of like sleeping on the couch, and he goes, I don't really know how to answer that, if we're going to be honest.
They nod. How are you holding up?
I'm not. We are waiting on a carriage to take us out of town. We are going back home. We're not staying.
I can't say I blame you.
And I think he like ushers Véres to take a step back and then closes the door like behind them so that Ash doesn't get woken up.
Yeah, he does too. He takes a step back so Zath can get out.
And he goes, I don't even know why I let them go. Honestly.
Because they were excited.
No, but I should have known. I should have known better.
And Zath couldn't have known. And I'm sorry for not keeping an eye on them.
He stops and I guess he chuckles a little bit wryly and he goes, I guess take the same advice. How were you to know?
He chuckles half-heartedly and he nods. He goes, I can't imagine. It must be hard.
They were telling me about what happened. And Ash said that one moment they were completely fine. Then the next, it was like every part of their being needed to go down this path, and they followed. The path that they needed to go down was down into the tunnels, deep underground.
Varys nods. I'm sure you can imagine what I suspect that might be.
That feeling they described. There's powerful magic down there. I just don't understand why or how it's down there.
I think there's something more going on down there, and I plan to find out.
Ash said that they believe a person was dragging them towards a pit or a hole in the ground. Ash said, after a little bit of me trying to get it out of them, that the person was wearing a cloak and had very pale skin and like long fingernails.
Ash is not the first person to say they've seen someone like that. I'm not sure what's going on, but I assure you, I will handle it, whatever it is.
I highly suggest you actually just come with us. I don't want you anywhere near that. You know as well as I do what kind of destruction that can wrought.
Oh, I'm aware.
And Ash is fine. Ash is safe. I don't want you going on a suicide mission.
It's not. I won't stay if it gets too dangerous. I just want to get an idea of what we're dealing with.
I don't know if I fully believe you, but I also know that I can't stop you. I think you and I are a lot alike, and I know that I would also go down there if I were back in my days.
He chuckles and just kind of nods. I just don't want to see anyone else disappear. Or experience what Ash did. And I want Ash to be able to rest, knowing that they will never have to see that person again.
He nods. The only way I got them to stop shaking was by going to sleep.
I'm sure it'll take some time, Zath, but I don't think that you made a mistake in letting them go. You can only protect your children from the world for so long. And I know that you're going to want to continue to do that, especially now. But you have to let them see scary things, Zath. Maybe not that, hopefully never that again. But he thinks and he pauses a moment. I think all you can do is just be there for them when they come to you scared or upset. Guide them as best you can. It's not your fault. You are the best father I've ever seen, Zath.
He smiles, and he goes, "Your praise does not come easily, so I know you mean it. Thank you."
Of course.
And I think he holds up a finger, a wait a moment, and he goes back in, comes back out with your cloak that has the brooch still attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
And he hands it to you, and he goes, "You're a very good person, Véres."
They kind of slightly wince when he says that, but nods, not saying no, like he usually would. Says, "Thank you. And thank you for this," and holds up the cloak. "I'm doing my best. Just as anyone else."
He nods. "We will not be here when you get back. We will be home, where there's always going to be a bed for you."
Thank you. Travel safe, and I'm sure I'll see you around again.
You as well.
And gives him a gentle tap on the arm and heads up.
I think after that heartwarming, adorable moment, we're going to swing upstairs to Alara's room, where I think Alara throws the door open and she kind of shrugs out of her jacket and then sits on the floor where her jacket fell and starts taking stuff out of her pockets. Namely, she takes the garnet out of her pocket and she takes out a set of metal tools and she looks up at Ivy.
Ivy is sitting on her bed, not sitting, laying on her bed, on her stomach, just watching. Bia's on her back, sleeping, curled up on her back, sleeping, on Ivy's back, like a cat would.
I love it. I think she looks at Ivy for a second and she goes, so that was really weird and dangerous.
It was.
Do you feel okay?
I feel like I got beat up by a bunch of bats.
Me too. Mostly just one for me though.
That bat really did have it out for you. I don't understand why.
I think I disturbed it. You know how some people, like, when they're sleeping, and, like, if you startle them awake, they, like, jump awake and, like,
Attack you?
hit you by accident? Yeah, but...
Alara, who do you sleep around?
Yeah, no. So, no, it was like an example. It's not something that, like, I have experienced before.
Oh, okay.
I just know that, like, it's a thing that some people are, like, jumpy in their sleep. So maybe I really just startled it, and then when it was like, ah, you know, and it really came at me. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have a scar. And she, like, rubs her forehead. Because I walk back. I know I said in the last episode it was gonna be on her cheek, but it's gonna be on her forehead. After much deliberation.
How is your head feeling?
It hurts, but I think it'll be okay because you healed me with magic.
I don't understand why you're saying it like that.
Well, because it's not really something that people can do, and if they can do it, they usually charge, like, a lot of money for it, or they only are in, like, circles of like more powerful people who, like, use them for their abilities. So
Like a magical concubine?
she makes a weird face. I don't really know the intricacies of, like, what goes on, you know, behind like closed doors and stuff. You shouldn't you shouldn't tell people, probably, or, like, do that out in public if you can avoid it. But also, like, if someone's dying, you should definitely help them, you know.
Well, I can't bring people back from the dead.
Well, I mean, like, I felt really close to dying before, when the bat scratched me.
I think as they're talking, she's like kicking her feet, and she's got her chin on her folded arms. And she goes, I mean, do you want me to charge you for the healing that I did? Is that where this is going?
No, but and she reaches into her pocket, and she takes out, like, a little coin purse, and she goes, no, but if I didn't even think of that. Oh my gods. If you do charge for healing and you just did it really quick because, like, you didn't want me to get hurt, I will give you the money. That's totally fine.
No,
I don't have that much on me right now, but I can go get some work at the guild.
No,
so
I don't want your
Yep.
gold pieces.
Okay.
Or the silver ones or the bronze ones.
Okay.
I don't want any. You are not in debt to me. And she, like, waves her hand a bit.
That's a weird thing to say, but okay. Thank you, I guess.
She sighs and waves her hand again. And she goes, it was free. It is fine. You were dying. I helped you. And I will probably continue to help you.
Well, I mean, I don't really intend on getting attacked by bats, or other things again. So, but thank you, I guess, you know.
You're welcome.
And she just, like, she has the garnet, and she takes out a tool, and she just, like, starts, like, carving something into it.
Making jewelry over there?
Oh, no. I just have been thinking a lot about this stupid gem and this stupid spell that's in it, and how I can use this for one of my projects if I could just, like, get the spell to release out of it. So I'm just gonna try to carve a rune into it just to kind of see if I can probably do that, maybe.
I'm sorry, you're trying to do this with the both of us in the room? And you don't really know if you're going to be able to release the spell?
Yes.
So what if you do release the spell?
I mean, I don't think it's gonna, like, explode or anything, you know?
Well, no, I don't really want to be charmed.
No, it's not. This one is actually compulsion, not charm. But
That's worse.
okay. I mean, I don't think it's gonna, like, explode. I just think that I'm hoping for, like, a slow release, not like a release and I'm gonna use this on you, or anyone. I would never use this on you, or anyone. It's just like a little. I've just been thinking about it since last night, and I just want to see. what happens. If you feel uncomfortable, you don't have to like stay.
No. As long as you know what you're doing, in a sense, I guess.
In a sense, yeah. I'm very well versed with this type of rune carving. And GMs, I would like to try to roll to see if I can successfully carve this rune, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not going to activate it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just get the rune in, but not like make the final connecting piece.
Okay.
So what am I rolling?
Probably
Tinkering?
Sleight of hand.
So it'd be sleight of hand plus your proficiency bonus.
That's not very good, you guys.
Probably doesn't even meet the DC I've got in my brain then.
That's a total of 12.
Yeah.
No.
I had 17 in my brain.
I had 16.
No, I think you like got some like steady outlines going, but I don't think that you're able to put the most of the rune in.
Okay.
I think as you're doing that, Ivy goes, neither of my parents really work with runes. Is that like a popular artificer choice?
She puts the gem aside and she looks at Ivy. No, not really, because it's magic. And lots of scientists are really against mixing the two. It's kind of like a big point of contention in the scientific community.
Isn't that just science and magic hand in hand?
It's more science-based and less magic-y in most places anyway.
My father uses magic all the time.
Oh, that's cool. I guess in the fancy part of Ixalan, you can do whatever you want and no one tells you otherwise.
Right. Ixalan.
Mm-hmm. Ixalan.
To be fair, my dad very rarely comes out of his workshop, so it's not like many people go in and like have a tea with him. It's my mother who's really like the face of the family.
So does he just create stuff and then like it never sees the light of day?
No, it sees the light of day.
And people are okay with it being magic?
She looks at Alara.
Hear a knock at the door.
Come in. And Véres walks into an insight check.
Véres walks into an insight check. He walks in to see the two of them staring at each other like they're speaking telepathically.
Am I interrupting something?
No, I'm just talking about my parents.
And Ivy's looking at me weird.
You're looking at me weird. Did you roll your insight check?
Nope, that is a 7.
Yeah, no.
Véres looks very confused. Is all right. And they kind of like swing their cloak back over their shoulders and fasten it. Put the guard badge back on their on their shirt.
How is Ash?
As good as can be expected. They're asleep right now.
Well, that's good.
They nod.
I feel like sleeping is the best choice when traumatic stuff like that happens.
Oh, of course. I assume that they're going to need lots of rest. But they shake their head. They look irritated and kind of sad.
Is everything all right? Well, all right's not the proper.
I think everything's all right. Or it will be, at least.
Once we fuck up whatever's in the tunnels?
After I fuck up whatever's in those tunnels.
We fuck up whatever in those tunnels? She stares you down.
They look at you. Why? Why would you want to go back to that?
Well, you're going, aren't you?
Of course, but, I've got experience with it. Or with fighting at the very least.
I have experience with fighting.
He looks at you. Insight check. 17.
Yeah, no, she doesn't.
They nod slowly.
I have experience reading about fighting. And my father makes weapons, so...
Practical application, reading. Two very different things. Don't get me wrong, you both did very well today. You're alive, and you held your own.
Did I, though?
I think you did.
You did. You didn't actually go down.
No. I'm sorry I accidentally smacked you with electricity, by the way.
Oh, don't worry about it.
The bat just, disappeared as I was about to hit it.
Yeah, I don't think those were regular bats. I'm
No.
pretty sure they were. They shake their head.
Magic bats.
Magic bats.
Of the sorts.
If anybody wants to make a... Would it be an Arcana check?
Yeah, probably. I'll make an Arcana.
Ivy don't got shit to Arcana.
Oh, well, I got a 15 Arcana.
17. It's not that great.
I don't think either one of them have heard of magical bats. But I do think it's safe to say that
they were no ordinary bats.
They were no ordinary bats. Beings that can blink in and out of existence are definitely not, are usually imbued with some kind of magical something.
I think I'm pretty sure they were not ordinary bats, so...
That is actually a very fair assumption, considering.
No, there's a lot of unordinary things happening down there. A lot of magical things, too, it seems. The gems.
Which is not normal here.
It is not normal here.
She nods.
The bats.
The strange buzzing sensation on your skin.
You felt that too?
Briefly.
And didn't Ash say something about their skin feeling weird?
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Typically you would feel that in areas of high magic, I suppose. But I can't think of a reason why you would feel that in the middle of essentially nowhere, unless there's...
Might be a portal.
They nod.
A portal?
Wouldn't that be like the highest point of concentrated magic would be around a portal?
It's strange though. Portals aren't supposed to just open on their own here.
Well, and she holds the garnet up and she puts it in her pocket and she takes out the amber and she's going to start carving into that one too. But she goes, someone's been messing with the gems and putting magic on the gems, right? Do you think someone opened a portal?
Either somebody opened it or it's in the process of opening on its own.
Véres nods in agreement to Ivy, clearly in thought, and he says, I suspect that we might be dealing with a cult.
Is there only one cult here? Are we thinking of a specific one, or...
I don't know the name of it, but I can't think of anything else it could be, given people are going missing in increasingly alarming amounts. They're luring people away. There's seemingly ritualistic scarring practices being done to some people. They're clearly infiltrating areas of power. It all fits. I just don't know what they're doing.
But what do you mean areas of power? It's underground tunnels.
I'm fairly sure 2 of them have infiltrated the town guard under the request of the mayor. I don't know if they're aware.
Okay, so we think that there is a cult underground doing magic and snatching people.
Mm-hmm. I can only assume. I'm sure you can inference their intentions with that.
What are we assuming? I'm sorry.
Are they sacrificing people to try and open the portal?
Oh, okay.
That's certainly an option. And there's not enough people on the guard to go down and investigate, so I'm going to go.
Okay. I'm having a little bit of trouble connecting the dots. I'm okay at math. You just said that there's not enough guards to go down. So you're gonna go down.
Mm-hmm.
You did such a good job in the tunnels with the bats and everything. Really fantastic. I just not really 100% sure about you have a lot of confidence and that's really great also. But I'm not really sure that isn't the town guard better than just one person. But also 3 people because we'll go with you. But I still think that the numbers it's not adding up. 4 and Bia.
I don't know if it's a good idea if you join me, to be honest. I don't want you getting hurt.
I feel great right now.
I'm sure you do.
Ivy healed me right up.
I did.
And you both look like you could use a rest.
I always look like this.
We are taking a short rest right now as we talk, Alara says as she rolls some hit die. She's gonna roll her 2 hit die.
Well, you need someone to apparently illegally heal you for free.
I can also legally heal for free.
I just can't wrap my head around the reason why.
Why what?
You would want to go down and face something like that.
You care? Why shouldn't I?
Because we've only just met.
And yet, instead of running away when we were attacked by not bats, you fought by our side and killed bats that were in front of us instead of ones that were just in front of you.
And you both let me hide in between you two so I didn't die. which was really nice for strangers to do. And people are going missing. And you just said the guard can't really do much. And I have a lot of like tricks up my sleeve that may be helpful in a fight.
Is this an issue of you don't want us to hold you back, or you think that we're going to die?
The latter. More so than the former.
And that is another reason why we're going.
They just nod. Laura, do you mind if I take a look at that garnet once more?
Oh, yeah. I think as she goes to, she like starts fumbling and she drops the amber and she goes, oh crap. And then she reaches into her pocket and she pulls out the garnet again. And she hands it to Véres.
Appreciate it. I'm just going to look it over. And he just kind of like examines it while they talk. I think that as Véres turns over the gem, slight hint of remembrance washes over his face, and he looks at you again, Ivy, and goes, I'm sorry, did you passably mention that your father makes weapons?
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that.
You did.
He narrows his
Does he
eyes.
just stare at her?
He stares at her.
I think after a moment, she goes, yes, he makes weapons. There's probably plenty of artificers that make magical weapons.
No, we went over this already.
No, there's not.
That make weapons. Just normal, regular-ass weapons.
There's a lot of smiths who do so as well, but is your father...
An artificer, yes.
Any reason? What does he specialize in weapon creation, or?
You know, I never really asked what he specialized in, but I would assume so. He also makes he made our dog. He makes armor and practice dummies.
What guild is he from?
It's a very selective guild.
No, like a private contracted guild or something like that.
Laura's shaking her head no.
No, there's no such thing. I don't know much about guilds, honestly.
No.
She's like, you see her face running through a bunch of different, her face is going on a journey right now.
I got a 12 on my insight check.
I got a nat 1.
Nice.
On my deception. Okay. She goes, it's a very, very, very selective guild.
Mm-hmm.
It is not just to artificers.
Mm-hmm.
There are other classes as well. But just for artificers, it's just my parents. Which is probably a totally normal thing here. Because it exists here, because my parents are part of it here.
Mm-hmm.
Forever.
Ivy.
Ilara?
I think you're lying. Well, either you're lying, or I know that what you're saying is not the truth. So maybe your parents lied to you, which may be a trend, considering the old map and stuff. You could just not say anything, if you don't want to tell us. We are strangers. So that's cool. But I know a lot about the guilds and artificers. So, just
I'm really not lying.
Neither of you have to talk about things that you're not comfortable with sharing. As Alara just said, we are strangers, so if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to.
It's not that I don't really want to talk about it. It's more of I'm worried that I'm going to be thrown into a jail thing.
I think you know already that, we do illegal things, so...
Laura rolls up her sleeves, and as she does, her sleeve gets snagged on a watch that she wears on her wrist, but she rolls up her sleeves and she picks up the gem, and she kind of the amber that just fell, and she goes, yeah, I use magical batteries to power my projects, which is, not super cool here. And my pockets are illegal in some places. They definitely are.
Most places on this continent, actually.
Oh, is it really most now?
Yes.
She does like a yikes face.
All right. So the only thing I will say that is 100% true, and then once we travel together more, maybe I'll tell you more.
Deal.
My father is from here, from Thylacere, and he actually is from Extolin.
Exolin.
I just don't think it was called that.
Oh, would explain the map, of course.
It doesn't even explain the map, though, because the map is not even real. I don't think that there is an explanation.
It is a real map. It is in my hand.
No, I mean, it's a physical thing, but it's not a real plate. Those places...
It's more like an artistic interpretation.
Interpretation of the continent.
Like the kind of maps that show, like, the Kraken in the corner.
Yeah, except, like, there's, like, 4 towns that are Krakens. And there's not a crack in our continent. No. Okay.
Véres shakes their head and goes, I'm going to go and get ready. On that note, pardon me. And they...
Get ready for what?
In bed.
Ivy narrows her eyes.
Insight check.
Do it.
Fucking 6.
All right, I'm rolling an insight.
If you can beat a dirty 20.
I rolled 17 plus 4.
You literally got 21. Literally. That's what you needed. Amazing. Yeah, Ivy, you aren't 100% sure what he's actually doing, but you know he's not getting ready for bed. Also, it's like evening, right?
Yeah.
Early evening.
Mm-hmm.
So I think as Véres, like, the door closes, Ivy stands, she goes, all right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
And walks off with Bia, like, walking behind her, just trotting along.
Aw.
When she comes back sans Bia, and she's got, like, an armload full of clothing. Black clothing.
Hey. Where's Bia?
Oh, Bia's watching Varys' front door.
Wow, no trust.
What? Why?
For when he leaves, we can have Bia trail them.
Varys said that they were going to bed.
They lied. And she says it's so, like, blasé.
Oh, okay.
She starts laying these clothes out. And she goes, I have selected some sneaky clothing.
Okay.
Tell me what you think would be best for sneaky times.
Well, black, so that's a good way to start, right? Dark colors are a good way. Yeah.
That's most of my clothes, to be honest with you.
Okay. Are you laying them out on the bed?
Yeah.
Okay. She walks over to you and she goes, what do they look like? What are we working with here?
So there's a dress, like a floor-length arm, like full sleeve dress.
Okay.
That looks like it's one of those, like, really form-fitting tight dresses.
Okay.
There's like a pair of black slacks and a black long sleeve shirt.
Mm-hmm.
There's a black tank top, like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And as you're looking at these clothes, roll an investigation check, I guess.
That or history, I suppose.
That's a 16.
So as you're looking at these clothes, you pick them up because you're about to. So you pick up the dress because you're about to be like, Ivy, right? That's obviously not.
Ivy, you should wear this one.
And you feel the fabric is actually like really soft velvet, like really soft, like buttery smooth velvet. Mm-hmm. And you look at the stitching and it's like impeccable stitching. And the more you look at these clothes, the more you realize that these clothes are like expertly tailored and like rich fabric.
Okay. Well, she holds up the dress and she goes, okay, first of all, are you going to be upset if any of this stuff gets ruined? Because it looks really expensive. And you were complaining about crawling around in dirt before. So
it's just clothing.
Okay. So if you're thinking we're going to go into the tunnels to fight something, a form-fitted black dress is probably not going to be like the best for like movement. I feel like you would feel really cramped. And if we had to run, I don't think you could even like get your legs in that running position.
That's true. I was thinking more of like, the old black like Spectre sort of look.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's totally fair.
So like, do you have just like leggings and like a t-shirt maybe, or
She holds up a pair of leggings.
Okay, I guess I should put on some sneaky sneaks clothes too then, right?
100%. Thanks so much for listening. We're incredibly grateful for the love and support.
And P.S., if you want more content, check out our Patreon for free clips, bonus scenes, and if you join the Red Rogues, you'll get access to the Rainbow Dice Club chat, an after show where we talk about past episodes.
If you're enjoying the show, please consider leaving us a 5-star review and tell your friends about us.
Special thanks to our Green Fiend Patreon supporters, Jen Bear and Michael.
And with that, our story pause is here for today. Join us next time as we continue our adventures, and remember, it's never too late to start your own.
Bye!
Véres is gonna have to carry 3 bodies out of this tunnel.
We can. We've seen him do it.
A lot of violas.
Viola.
Bye, Vince. Oh.
Listen, barbarian, go swing your sword, okay?
Shut your face.
Don't come over here with that shit.
I lost my D20. 1 second.
So you make your way.
Make my way.
Make my way.
Make your way. Make your way. So, you omega your way. You see tables. You don't see any empties.
Where the fuck the tables go?
Every time you walk into this inn, it's like a whole new
Just
a whole new
tables.
place. No tables in this one.
This time instead of
Reg gaslights you.
It's a ballroom.
No, and Reg gaslights you into being like, no, this is how it was this whole time.
I put the decorations up myself last night.
And we will follow Véres to Zath's room.
Zath's room.
Alara and Ivy go upstairs, and we'll follow Véres to Zath's room. Zath's room. I can't say that word. Say that.
Zath's room?
Zathy boy's room.
Zathafras.
Zathafras. Zathafras.
That is a fucking tongue twister. Try saying that 7 times fast.
Zathafras?
Yeah.
Zathafras, 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 Zathafras.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. You did pretty good up until the last 3.
And then it got away from me and I couldn't catch it again.
You were like, ah. Whatever's in those tunnels.
We're all throwing hands, Véres. Let me throw hands.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Like 2 hit points worth of life left, as they say.
That's a weird saying.
Yeah, it's very common here in this place that you're from, too.
No, I don't think it is. I think that might be just a you thing.
No, you're right. I was making a joke and it didn't land, so, you know.